My name is Madeleine. I live in Manchester. I got married when I was just 21 years old. It was a love marriage. My husband's name was Martin. He was a quiet and kind man. He never raised his voice. He always spoke gently. At first, I thought I was lucky. But from the very first day, his mother disliked me. Her name was Mrs. Henderson. She didn't hide her feelings. She didn't want me in her house. I tried everything to win her heart. I woke up early every morning. I cooked for the family. I cleaned every room. I smiled and showed her respect. I touched her feet like a daughter. But she never smiled back. Her face was always cold. Her words were always sharp. I had a soft heart. I longed for love, for warmth. But that house had no love for me. It was just walls, silence, and judgment. A year passed. I got pregnant. I was overjoyed. I couldn't stop smiling. I started talking to my baby every night. I imagined little hands, tiny feet, and sweet laughter. I dreamed of becoming a mother. I held my belly gently and whispered, "Good night." But everything changed one morning. I felt a sudden, strange pain in my stomach. It was strong. It brought me to my knees. I screamed. Martin rushed me to the hospital. I cried and prayed the entire way. I held my belly and begged, "Please God, save my baby." The pain was terrible, but the silence afterward was worse. The doctor came out with a serious face. He looked at me and said, "I'm sorry. Your baby did not survive." My world broke. I couldn't speak. I couldn't move. I just stared at the wall. I lost my baby. I lost my dream. After that, I was not the same. My body felt weak, but my heart hurt even more. I stayed in my room most days. I didn't talk to anyone. I didn't eat much. I just cried. Mrs. Henderson stood outside my door. Loud enough for everyone to hear, she said, "She is bad luck. She brought death into our family." Her words were knives. I waited for someone to hold me. I waited for Martin to say it wasn't my fault. But no one came. Martin stopped asking how I felt. He stopped sitting beside me. He just walked past like I was a ghost. I was breaking, and he didn't care. One night, Martin came into the room. I thought he would comfort me. But instead, he said, "Maybe you are not meant to be a mother." I stared at him, shattered. I cried all night, hugging my pillow. I asked God, "Why me?" Time passed. I visited doctors. I took all the medicines they gave me. I prayed every single night. I hoped. I begged. But nothing changed. I didn't get pregnant again. Then one evening, we were sitting at the dinner table. Silence filled the room. Suddenly, my mother-in-law spoke loudly, "She will never give us a child. She is useless." No one said anything. Not even Martin. I stood up and ran to my room. I locked the door and fell to the floor. I cried until I couldn't breathe. I looked at my hands and asked, "What is wrong with me?" No one came to check on me. Not even Martin. I was invisible. Then came the biggest blow. One morning, Mrs. Henderson accused me of cheating. She told Martin, "She doesn't want a baby. She is seeing someone else." It was a lie. A cruel, vicious lie. But Martin believed her. He didn't ask me anything. He didn't look into my eyes. He just said, "I want a divorce. Leave this house today." I couldn't believe it. My hands trembled. My lips moved but no words came. I packed slowly. I took a few clothes and walked out with a heavy heart. I had no parents, no sister, no friend. I was alone. I found a small room on a quiet street. The rent was cheap. I didn't even have a bed, just a thin mattress. Every night I lay there and cried. I asked God, what did I do wrong? I needed food. I needed work. I found a small book cafe nearby. They needed help. I said yes. I arranged books. I cleaned the counter. I served tea. I smiled at people. But inside, I was broken. Then one afternoon, something happened. A man walked into the cafe. He looked calm. He had kind eyes. He asked for tea and a book about birthdays. I gave it to him. He noticed my red eyes. Are you okay? He asked. I couldn't speak. My tears came first. I looked away. He gave me a soft smile and left. The next day, he came again. He ordered tea and asked for a new book. He sat at the back. When he left, he waved. A small, warm wave. I smiled back. He started coming every day. Always at 4 p.m., always the same seat. He read for an hour and drank his tea. Some days he brought pastries, some days a book from home. He didn't ask many questions, but he always smiled. One day, I asked his name. James, he said. And you? Madeleine. From that day, we talked more. He said he designed children's books. He loved stories. Stories help people heal, he said. He never asked about my past. He just made me feel like I mattered. Some days we talked. Some days we sat in silence. But it was a peaceful silence. I began to wait for 4 p.m. every day. Weeks passed. I laughed again. I smiled more. I started sleeping better. I even ate more. James noticed. You look better, he said. One rainy evening, I forgot my umbrella. James was still in the cafe. Let me walk you home, he said. I said yes. We walked under his umbrella. At my door, he said, Good night, Madeleine. Good night, James, I whispered. After that, we grew closer. James came on Sundays. He helped carry boxes. He brought flowers for the cafe. He once brought me a book. This helped me when I was lost. I took it. Thank you. The book was about a woman who lost everything and slowly found light. I cried while reading it. But I felt hope. After 6 months, I told James the truth. Everything. My marriage. The baby. The pain. I was scared he would change. But he didn't. He listened. He held my hand. I'm so sorry you went through that, he said. No judgment. Just kindness. James became my closest friend. We had dinner. We went to the park. One day, we saw a boy feeding birds. You want a child someday? James asked. I nodded. You'd be a wonderful mother. One evening, James came early. He looked nervous. Madeleine, he said, I've known you for a year. You are strong. You are kind. I want to be your future. My heart raced. I looked at him. I smiled through my tears. Yes. 2 months later, we married. A small wedding. Close friends. No big dress. No big hall. Just love. I wore white. James wore grey. We held hands and said simple vows. After the wedding, we came home to our flat. We ate cake. We laughed. We danced in the kitchen. I was happy. Then I started feeling sick. James joked, maybe it's the cafe tea. But I knew. I went to the doctor. Congratulations, she said. You're going to be a mother. I cried. Bright, warm tears. I walked home. James was cooking. I held his hands. I'm pregnant. His eyes widened. He hugged me tightly. He dropped the spoon. You are my miracle, I whispered. The months passed. James came to every appointment. He held my hand. He painted the baby's room. He whispered to my belly, we love you, little one. The day came. The pain started early. James was calm. He held my hand. You can do this. And then I heard it, a baby's cry. It's a boy, the nurse said. Welcome, Leo, James whispered. Welcome to our world. Leo James. Our miracle. He cried at night. He smiled in his sleep. My arms felt full. My heart felt full. James was the best father. He changed diapers. Made bottles. Sang songs. Laughed with Leo. Held him when he cried. We were a family. A real, loving family. One day, Leo was 4. We waited for a bus. The sun was soft. Leo sang a song. Then I heard my name. Madeleine. It was Martin. He looked older, thinner. He stared at Leo. Is he your son? Yes, I said. You look happy, he said. I didn't reply. I didn't need to. Mama, the bus is here, Leo said. Let's go, sweetheart. I looked at Martin one last time. His eyes were full of regret. But I felt peace. I had moved on. At home, I thought about my past. The cold house. The cruel words. The nights I cried. Then I looked around. Books on the table. Toys on the floor. James making tea. Leo drawing with crayons. My life had changed. Slowly. Day by day. I still had scars. But they didn't hurt anymore. They reminded me how far I'd come. One day, Leo and I passed a shop. A girl sat behind the counter. Red eyes. Tired. She looked like me, years ago. I smiled. She didn't smile back. But her eyes softened. That evening, I told James, so many women like me. Blamed. Hurt. Alone. He said, yes, there are. I want to help them. Then let's help them. I spoke to the cafe owner. She said yes. On Saturdays, I placed a sign outside, you are not alone. Come in. Sit. Talk. No judgment. Just tea and peace. The first week, no one came. The second week, one woman did. She sat, cried and whispered, thank you. Week by week, more women came. Young. Old. With children. Without. They carried pain. We didn't have much, but we had each other. We called it the second cup. Because everyone deserves another chance, another beginning. Years passed. Leo grew tall. He asked, Mama, why do you help people? Because someone once helped me, I said. James built shelves. We filled them with books by women. Poems. Stories. One day, Leo said, you're in here. Maybe, I smiled. One morning, I got a letter. From Eliza. She had lost her baby. Blamed. Alone. She wrote, because of you, I didn't give up. I believed I was waiting to heal. I cried. Quiet, joyful tears. I kept her letter in my drawer. I read it when I felt tired. One day, a young girl came. Nervous. Holding a bag. My name is Abigail, she said. I lost my baby. My husband left. They all blamed me. I reached out. It was never your fault. And you are not alone. She asked, how do you know? Because your story was once my story. That's when I knew my pain had a purpose. My past became a bridge. Now I live in Leeds. I still work at the book cafe. I still run the second cup. I still pour tea. I still listen. I believe in healing. In second chances. In miracles. I was called unlucky. But now I am blessed. I was called broken. But now I build. I am a mother. A wife. A woman of strength. And if you are reading this, if your heart is hurting, remember. You are not alone. You are just waiting for your second cup. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, comment, and share. More emotional and inspiring stories are coming soon.